Hi everyone, it's Reverend Dr. Katie. You know what? I hope you're doing really well. We're in the middle of this Mercury retrograde, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. So you may not feel like you're doing that well because this retrograde is nuts already. It's just a few days old and it is already messing with me. But retrogrades don't actually have to mess with us in the way that kind of pop culture says that they do. It's like the way we talk about this makes it seem like the world is going to end, your personal life is going to come crashing down during Mercury retrograde, and that's not really the case. So I'm going to tell you first of all what a Mercury retrograde is, the effects you may be feeling. If you're having weird communication, then yes, you are right in the middle of Mercury retrograde and feeling it exactly like you're supposed to. And then three, this is really an opportunity for us to do some self-reflection, to do a little bit of inner reflective work and to work on our vibration. So this is a perfect season to do that. So what is a Mercury retrograde? This is when the planet Mercury, which is the one that's closest to the sun, appears to be going the opposite way that it usually does. So it appears to go, instead of going this way around the sun, it appears to us to go the other way. Of course, Mercury isn't actually changing its orbital direction. That would have major consequences in our solar system. But the way the planets are positioned, it appears to be going retrograde, the opposite way that it usually does. Mercury is known for impacting communication, verbal, written. Facebook went down yesterday. Facebook and Instagram went down yesterday for a couple of hours. You know what? Like right at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, it's actually no surprise. It was a little comical actually. So all things having to do with communication can get bumpy during our Mercury retrograde. And Mercury, it's named after the ancient Roman god, who was the messenger god. And so that's why we associate this with communication, with messages today. And so I don't know about all of you, but I have found this to be true. I've had trouble getting like Zoom started. Today I just wanted a cup of tea and there's like signs all around that tell me things are closed. So just little things like that, they can kind of all add up. If you're having trouble communicating with loved ones in your life or even with like work colleagues or something like that, that can be a sign that Mercury retrograde is very alive, very well. So the good news is this is actually very normal. This is part of what Mercury retrograde is. Rather than fight against it, my suggestion is that we all lean into it. We lean into really, really considering our communication style for this period of time. So this is a period where I encourage everyone to measure twice, cut once. So think twice about what we say, think twice about what we write. If we feel our tempers flare, take those couple of deep breaths and then speak once or write once. I'm going to say that again. This is a measure twice, cut once season, and the way that we use our words and our communication tools. So think really carefully. It's just a time where we can think twice about how we say something, why we say it, when we say it. Do that twice, take the deep breath before we actually kind of proceed into communicating. And also it gives us the opportunity to receive others with grace if they're not communicating kind of in the way that we're used to. So it's a good time for kind of looking inward and tuning inward to see why we may be feeling particular ways about particular kinds of communication. Now, this is all part of your energetic makeup, your energetic self. We live in rhythms and in the dance of the cosmos. So when Mercury is retrograde, when other planets are retrograde, it's really on us to lean into that energy and to find ways to do our part of the dance. And so part of that dance is really working on our vibration. So just because communication is hard, and I was finally starting to laugh about 20 minutes ago because my spouse looked at me. He was like, "Nothing's kind of gone your way today." It's just like every time I open the computer, something happens. Every time I walk out the door, the thing isn't open, the store is closed. Went out without rain jacket, got soaked. You know, it's just kind of like one of those days. So then I have a choice. I can encounter this as the universe being against me, which I actually don't think is true, even though it may feel true at that moment in time. Or I can kind of laugh and say, this is the opportunity for me to think twice before I step out the door about what my little plan is and have a little resiliency when things don't go exactly as planned. Same when communicating with others. So this is really a choice that we all have to make about our vibration. And this is a time during this Mercury retrograde where we can all be very attentive to our vibration. If communication goes awry, if we're feeling kind of down, we can actually be very conscientious about our vibration and begin to raise your internal vibration during this season. That's actually the best and most important thing that you can possibly do. Your vibration is not dependent on these external forces. It's that internal state that can always be with you. You can always raise your vibration. You can always live in this really high vibration way. So Mercury retrograde is actually your golden opportunity to begin to make choices about your vibration, and doing that through your communication patterns. So what to do next? I have a guide in the Metaphysical Christian Facebook group on vibration. And so if you haven't checked that out, check that out. There's a couple of lessons in there. They just give you really quick overview, kind of 101 on vibration. When you've done that, let me know, and I can guide you to the next steps where you can really, really kickstart your vibration up to new levels as you are in this period of really considering your internal self, considering your metaphysical self. So as metaphysical Christians, I encourage everyone to pay attention to the cosmos, to the planets around us. They are affecting us. Communication is really weird and wonky right now, and that's not a bad thing. So we really want to reorient that from being like a bad thing into an opportunity for us to work on our best and most bright spiritual selves. So I hope this is helpful. I'll post a link to the guide in the first comment underneath this video. And after you do the guide, be in touch with me so that I can help guide you to the next steps if you're feeling like working on your vibration is something you want to be really attentive to, really conscientious to. Okay, everyone, it's great to see y'all. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to be live, just with life happening, Mercury retrograde happening. Really happy to be here now, and I will see you all really, really soon.